Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Sarah with the Adventure Squad, and today I'm bringing you a fun rummy tile game called Rummikub. Now, I definitely did not spend my entire life calling this Rummikub, but Rummikub is a fun and strategic tile laying game for 2 to 4 players and ages 8+. The game is played over a predetermined amount of rounds, so you could play through 3 rounds, 5 rounds, whatever you want to play to, so that kind of makes the playtime vary a little bit from game to game. This game has been around a long time, but it's still very popular today. This game is very easy to learn, but it does require a little luck and a little strategy. With that, let's jump on in and show you how to play Rummikub. Let's start with components and setup. There are a total of 106 tiles. There are 2 sets of tiles, 1 to 13 in each color: black, red, blue, and orange. There are also 2 joker tiles. The numbers on the tiles are how many points each tile is worth. So the 1s are worth 1 point, and the 13s are worth 13 points. The jokers are wild, and those can be used as any tile, and its point value is that of the tile it is representing. Throughout the game, we're going to be using the tiles to create different sets. We have runs, which are 3 or more consecutive numbers in the same color. And then we also have groups, which are 3 or 4 tiles of the same number but different colors. To set up for the game, we're going to place all of our tiles face down on the table and shuffle them up. Each player will pick a tile. Whichever player has the highest tile number will start. Place your tiles face down back on the table and reshuffle them. Each player will get a rack for their tiles and will then choose 14 of the tiles to place in their rack. Once all players have drawn their 14 tiles, the remaining tiles form the draw pool. The object of the game is to be the first player to play all of the tiles from your rack by forming and adding to sets out on the table. This player over here had the highest number during the tile flip, so they'll start the game. So I've organized these tiles by some runs and some partial sets that we have here. To begin playing any sets out on the table, the sets you play must be at least 30 points total. Each tile is worth the amount of points as the number on it. So this 4 would be 4 points and so on. So as long as our sets total at least 30 points or more, we can start playing those out onto the table. So for this turn, I'm going to lay down this run of 4, 5, 6, 7, and this run of 10, 11, 12. With that, this player will choose to end their turn, and since they were able to play tiles from their rack onto the table, they do not have to pick a tile. Then it's the next player's turn. So we'll start by kind of organizing this player's rack. Now, as you can see, we do have 3 5s on this rack. However, there are 2 blue 5s. If you're going to make a set of 3 or more numbers, they have to be different colors. So I would have to have a red or orange 5 to go with this blue and black one. And then we also have a run of 3 here, this 5, 6, 7. However, this 5, 6, 7 does not add up to 30 or more points, so I am not able to play it. You must play sets that are 30 or more points before you can play on other people's sets that are laid down on the table. So even if I had something that I could play on these sets, I would not be able to play that until I was able to make sets of my own from my own rack that equals 30 or more points. Since this player has no sets to play out on the table, they must draw a tile. Now, even though I drew this joker tile, which would allow me to make a set of 30 or more points, I would not be able to play this until my next turn. Once a player draws a tile, if they're not able to play, their turn is over. Now, this player does not have anything that they can add to their current sets that are out on the table. One strategy that this player could have done last turn was to keep 1 from this run here. So you can make a run as long as you have at least 3 tiles in the run, this 4, 5, 6. I could have saved this 7 until my next turn in case there wasn't anything else I could play. I could have played this 7 and not had to draw another tile. But since I played this 7 out here in the first round, I don't have anything else in my rack that I can play, so I must draw a tile. So sometimes it can be a strategy to not play every single tile that you can possibly play to ensure that you have at least one tile that you would be able to play in the next round, so that way you don't have to draw more tiles. Now, this player is able to play a set. So the joker is worth whatever it is representing. So this joker is worth 10 points because that's representing a blue 10 for this run. And I'm going to choose not to play this run yet, just to make sure that I have something I can play next round so I don't have to draw a tile. So I'm just going to play this set here and end my turn. Now this player has a couple things they could do. They could play this set of 2s, or they could play this 12 on the other player's run. So for now, we'll choose to play the 2s. And we'll save this 12 for now and see what the other player plays next round. Now, this player really only has one thing they can do, and that is to play this run of blue numbers here. They cannot play this 2 on the other player's 2s because it already has a red 2 in it. Besides playing and adding to sets that are already out on the table, there are other things you can do to manipulate the tiles that are already played so you can better play your tiles. So first off, we have this joker over here, which is representing a blue 10. This player happens to have a blue 10 tile. They can choose to swap out this joker by playing the blue 10 in that run. They can then use this joker to play some of their other tiles. So if we wanted to, we could play the joker with these 2 5s. The joker could represent another 5. If you are able to replace a joker by playing the tile that it represents, you must keep the joker on the table and use it in a different set some way. Some other things we can do are to break up runs. So I could add this 12 to this run. I could make the 9 over here and make this a longer run. And I could actually use this 5 here to add on to my 5s. So you're able to manipulate all the tiles that are out here on the table as long as they are all able to fit together into legal sets by the end of your turn. So for example, if I had another blue 8 in my rack, I would be able to split this run here. I would be able to play my blue 8, let's just say this is blue, and I would be able to make that a run of 3, 6, 7, 8, which are all blue. We're saying this is a blue 8 here. And I could just add these 2 to this run here. So these are all legal runs, and I would be able to just split the first run and make 2 different runs and be able to get rid of another tile. Now let's do some other manipulations here. So this joker is representing a black 5. I could play this black 5 there, and I would get this joker to play with. If we wanted to be really crazy, I could play this 12, and we have a couple of other 12s here. And then I would be able to play this run together, just like this. And I could play this over here on that run. So you're able to manipulate these played tiles any way you choose, as long as they are back into legal runs and sets by the end of your turn. Now, a couple rules. If a player manipulates these tiles into sets that are not legal, they must return them back to their original positions and draw 3 tiles as a penalty. So if you're manipulating all of these tiles and you realize, oh, I only have 2 numbers and they can't form a run or a set, and you can't figure out any way to make it work, you must put all of the tiles back to their original positions and take your penalty 3 tiles. This game also does include a time limit of 2 minutes per turn, so any player that goes over the 2-minute time limit while they're trying to take their turn must immediately end their turn and draw 1 penalty tile. Play continues until one player empties their rack and calls Rummikub. The round ends, and players tally their points. Another way the game could end is when the draw pool is empty. Play continues until no more plays can be made. Let's get into scoring. After a player has cleared their rack, the losing players look at their rack and add up all of the values of their remaining tiles. This is going to be their score in negative points. The winner of the round receives a positive score equal to the total of all the loser's points. So for instance, this player would score minus 47 points. The winning player would score a positive 47 points. At the end of each round, each player totals his minus and plus scores to produce a total score. The player with the highest score at the end of the game wins. In the rare instance that all the tiles from the draw pool are used before any player gets rid of all of their tiles, the player with the lowest count on their rack wins the round. All other players add up their total tile value and subtract from it with the winner's total. The result is scored as a minus amount. The total of these is scored to the winner as a positive amount. After everyone scores their round, all the tiles get placed back in the draw pile face down and shuffled up. The rules give a good visual of the different things that you can do with the tiles out on the table. First, you can add tiles to extend runs or complete sets of same numbers. You can remove a fourth tile from a set to create a different set or a different run. You can also manipulate a set to create more runs or more sets. Up here it shows that we can split a run to create 2 separate runs of at least 3 tiles. Here we can see a player adds their 1 to all the 1s that are already out here on the table to create 2 sets of 3 1s, and then this 2, 3, 4 can become its own run. Here you can see we have multiple runs of pretty much the same numbers, so we can separate all of these runs and create sets of numbers. So we can create a set of 5s, 6s, and 7s, and then we still have a run of 8, 9, 10 using those tiles that we have on our rack. And just a reminder, there are 2 jokers in the game, and those can be used as any tile. But be careful, because if you have a joker in your rack and another player clears their rack, that joker will be minus 30 points for you. This is another great game for all ages. There's very little setup, it's easy to learn, and you can kind of control how long you'll be playing the game by predetermining how many rounds you want to play. If you want a shorter game, you could even just play 1 round if you wanted to determine who wins. If you want a longer game, you could play 5 rounds or 7 rounds, or make it however long you want it to be. Whether you're looking for a quick filler game or a game for your next gaming night, this is a great option. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Adventure Squad down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, get your game on.